In the mid to late 90s, gaming was going through a large transition from 2D to 3D. With that transition, we saw many games moving away from traditional level select screens and opting for a more immersive experience with the creation of the hub world. The most famous example of this is Mario 64. Peach's Castle provided a safe environment for players to familiarize themselves with this new 3D space and also serve as a way to access all the stages of the game. Hub worlds have been featured in many games, including Diddy Kong Racing, Spyro the Dragon, and even more recently with hub areas in Borderlands 2 in the Dark Souls series. Many of these games utilize this concept of a hub world in interesting ways, but no other game has executed the hub world better, in my opinion, than Banjo-Kazooie with Gruntilda's Lair. Banjo-Kazooie is a 3D platformer and collectathon which released in 1998 by Rare. You play as the bear Banjo and bird Kazooie as a duo. Using various skills, you traverse Gruntilda's lair in 9 worlds, collecting jiggies and other items to eventually rescue Banjo's sister Tooty and defeat the evil witch Gruntilda. While there are many reasons why Banjo-Kazooie is a fantastic game, and I'm sure I'll get to many of those reasons eventually, the feature that stands out most in Banjo-Kazooie compared to other 3D platformers is its perfect execution of the hub world. Gruntilda's Lair has 2 main aspects that we're going to dive into that make it stand out: its atmosphere and its utility. The atmosphere of Gruntilda's Lair is dark but with a playful twist. You're entering the enemy lair, so right away it feels very different than a hub world like Peach's Castle or Timber Island, which have a lighter mood to them. Hub worlds are usually supposed to be the safe place to explore, but in here, there's always enemies wandering about, even if they're not exactly the biggest threat. Gruntilda is constantly making her presence known and always reminding you that you're in her domain. She taunts you with her signature rhymes throughout the game as you explore. Of course, she's also making her presence known visually too, with many structures bearing her resemblance scattered throughout the lair. Each area is unique and interesting and really makes you look forward to what could be next. You'll see anything from giant grunty statues to dangerous lava rooms. You really feel the anticipation building as you scale higher and higher within the lair, eventually making it to her personal chambers, which you had previously only seen in cutscenes, and then finally and fittingly scaling to the very top of the lair for the final battle. The music for Gruntilda's Lair is masterful. The musical genius Grant Kirkhope absolutely nails it with a catchy theme based off the old Teddy Bear Picnic children's song. It puts a fun twist on the lair and the music never gets old. I love the way the music is so dynamic and changes depending on your surroundings, such as going underwater. By far my favorite areas are the level entrance rooms. There's something about them that are just so cool. In a way, it kinda reminds me of a theme park. Each area starts to transform into the level they're based on. It's almost like waiting in line for a ride at Disney or Universal Studios, where they really try to immerse you before going on the ride, or in this case, entering the level. This is of course coupled with the fact that each of the 9 levels has its own unique version of the Gruntilda's Lair theme, and as you enter a level area, hearing the music transition really sets the tone for each stage. It's especially cool when going from one level's theme to another. Gruntilda's Lair is not just great in terms of atmosphere, but also in utility. It's not just an empty hub with 9 levels, the space is well utilized and there's many things to discover. The lair is relatively big, so cauldrons are placed around to warp the player to other areas for easier travel. Grunty's sister Gruntilda shows up in various locations throughout the lair, telling you secrets about her sister's personal life. She tells you these facts will be important, but you don't exactly know why yet. Later you'll discover they are part of Furnace Fun, which acts as a deathly game show at the end of your adventure. Remembering the bits of trivia Gruntilda gives you is integral to surviving this section. Each of the 9 levels contain a witch switch, which spawns a Jiggy to acquire in the hub world. including the one given at the beginning of the game that totals 10 Jiggies to acquire in Gruntilda's lair itself. I really appreciate this touch as it allows some integration between the game's worlds and the hub world. I think this is a better integration to getting collectibles in the hub world than say just talking to Toad in Mario 64. The Jiggy pads are littered throughout and act as a way of unlocking each world in the game. Some are in plain sight, but most require some level of exploration to discover. You won't always see a Jiggy pad area before you see the level entrance, which helps build some anticipation. For instance, you'll pass through the area for Gobi's Valley before actually getting to the room where you can unlock the worlds. My favorite example of this is Click Clock Wood. They put the Jiggy pad way at the beginning of the game, and it's actually the final level. It's widely speculated that this was originally supposed to be the entrance for another planned level called Fungus Forest and was later repurposed, but intended or not, I thought it was a really cool touch to build some mystery for a level that you wouldn't see until way later. I remember first discovering this room as a kid, hearing that awesome woodland rendition of Gruntilda's lair, and I just couldn't wait to see what this level was all about. Transformations are a large part of Banjo-Kazooie. There's 5 total used to complete the game. Each transformation for its respective level is used to acquire certain Jiggies you otherwise wouldn't be able to obtain. The developers could have easily stopped there, but they added a really cool touch by allowing players to actually leave the level still transformed. Sure, you can't go too far outside the level entrance, but each form is used to acquire or unlock something else in Gruntilda's lair. There's something so cool about this concept that just feels so fresh and almost feels like you're breaking the rules of the game each time you do it. Cheeto, the magical spellbook, has a few hidden locations throughout the hub world, with great upgrades to award players who explore. He gives you codes to enter in Treasure Trove Cove to hold a larger number of eggs, red, and golden feathers. If you took out Gruntilda's lair and just had 9 levels, I really feel Banjo-Kazooie would not be nearly as special of a game. Combining both dark and fun atmosphere, catchy dynamically changing music, and well-utilized space with many rewarding treasures to discover, all make for what I consider to be the best hub world in all of gaming, elevating Banjo-Kazooie to the status of a true classic.